Hello, hope everyone's having a nice day. So today's video is on oil to fuel ratio mixing for two-stroke engines. Here's a chart that I like to use to mix my oil into my fuel on two-stroke engines. The reason I like it is it gives a breakdown of the different ratios because I have several different engines that require different mixing ratios. A scooter, for instance, would take a 32-to-1 ratio, at least mine, that's what the manufacturer calls for. And my boat takes a 50-to-1 ratio. And I can use this chart for either one so that I know how many ounces of oil to add in per gallon of fuel that I'm using. So on the left hand side it says mix ratio to 1. What that means is if my engine calls for, let's say, a 32-to-1 oil mixing ratio, then I would use 1 ounce of oil per 32 ounces of fuel. Now let's say I need to get a gallon of gasoline at the gas station to use for this scooter engine. That's a 32-to-1 mixing ratio. I would fill up that gallon jug until I have exactly 1 gallon, and then I would get a oil mixing canister and I would mix in 3.2 ounces of oil into that gallon of fuel, and then I would have the proper mixture so that I don't cause problems with my engine. That way I'm not using too much oil and end up clogging the carburetor, or using too less of oil, not enough, and I end up having premature wear in my engine because it's not being lubricated like it should be. So you'll use this chart and you will find whatever the mixing ratio is for you and go down to that particular line and see how much oil is required to mix in the amount of gallons of fuel that you're adding it to. The bottom here is a chart for metric. So basically anywhere but the US is going to use this chart. I'll zoom in on it a little bit. If you need to pause the video to find the mixing ratio, then go for it. But there it is. Now I'll bring you to another item, at least for people here in the US, that I like to use. I'll link this website in the description where you can get this mixing bottle, but this takes the thought process out of it. So you don't really have to think much about your oil to fuel ratio mixing. This bottle actually has it for you. So a 32-to-1 mixing ratio, as you can see right there. And this gives you the breakdown on however many gallons of fuel you're using. What you'll do is you'll take your two-stroke oil, and let's say I am using 4 gallons of fuel. I just put 4 gallons of fuel into my tank. Well, I would simply get my two-stroke oil and fill this bottle up to the 4 line right there, because that's the 4-gallon line. I'd fill it up to there and then simply pour it into my fuel tank that has that 4 gallons of fuel in it. And that makes the mixing super easy. It takes the thought process out of it completely. And the benefit of this bottle is you have the different oil mixing ratios right on the bottle. So if you're going from a chainsaw to a boat motor to a scooter that have different mixing ratios, you can use the same bottle for all of them. But alright, well, I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. I do kind of random stuff on my channel, so it's not all tailored towards one particular type of thing. But if you enjoyed it, please like the video, comment if you have questions, and you guys have a great day.